When you're ready to do group 2, which is your pelvis and thigh, you'll want to begin by grouping your muscles according to section on the body. For example, we're going to put all of our quadricep muscles together in one group, all of our adductors in one group, hamstrings and glutes. And then we'll graph them on the skeleton or dress out the skeleton in that manner. So we're going to begin with our quadriceps group. You've got 4 quadriceps, hence quadriceps. We're going to start with the deepest one, which is our red one, vastus intermedius. It simply lines the femur bone, straight down the middle. And fascially attaches to the patella. Vastus lateralis is on the lateral side of the femur. So it goes, these muscles fit together like that. Can you see how they put together like that? So that's why I've made them fit on a fold line like that. They go on the bone, but then they'll fit together the muscle simply like that. That's why it says fold line. And then you've got vastus medialis. Finally, for the quadriceps, we've got rectus femoris, and it comes off of the AIIS, anterior inferior, and lands on the tibia across the patella. And that would be your quadriceps group. Turn it to the side so you can see how they layer on there. Very good. Next, we'll do the adductors. So we'll start with the psoas. I put the iliacus and the psoas together. So we'll dress that on the skeleton. And basically that just lines the front of the pelvic bone, runs all the way up the vertebra, the bodies of the vertebra, and crosses the pelvis at the base and lands on the femur. The pelvic floor, it just takes up this space here in the pelvis. So it just lines the whole of the bone there. The Pectineus is one of your adductors, and it comes off of the pubic bone here and then lands on the femur. Adductor brevis, it's more inside the pubic bone and behind the pectineus. So it comes off of the inside of the pubic bone. Make sure you put a Velcro there and then lands on the femur. Adductor longus is more on the outside, and it lands then down on the femur. You've got adductor magnus, considered the 4th hamstring. Comes off with the ischial tuberosity. And then runs up the femur and then lands on the condyle. The gracilis runs from the pubic bone all the way to the pes inserinus tendon, which comes around the tibia. And note that all of your adductors, they're simply just lining the pubic bone. All those muscles are wrapping around the pubic bone and providing support and movement there. And that's your adductor group. From there, we can put on the hamstrings. You've got 3, hence hamstrings. We'll start with semimembranosus, which goes from the ischial tuberosity to the tibia. You've got semitendinosus, which goes from the ischial tuberosity as well And this one comes around the front of the tibia and inserts on that Pectineus tendon as well. So it wraps around there with the gracilis. And then the biceps femoris comes off of the ischial tuberosity as well, and it lands on the head of the fibula. And those are your hamstrings. We can then put on our glutes, but we're going to want to start with our lateral hip rotators first. So we'll remove the hamstrings here so you can see those. You have 6 lateral hip rotators, and we will begin with the piriformis. It comes off of the inside of the sacrum and lands on the head of the femur. Like that. Your obturators, you've got an internus and an externus. Externus comes off the external portion of this foramen. So you'll have to slip it in here. Make sure you have Velcro to stick it on. And it comes around and lands on the head of the femur. The internus comes off the interior surface, comes around and lands on the head of the femur. You've got gemellus superior, which comes off this little bitty bone up here and lands inside of these muscles on the head of the femur. Gemellus inferior is below superior, and it comes off the bone and again lands on the inside of the femur, the head of the femur. Finally, quadratus femoris. Just going to fix our externus. Comes off the ischial tuberosity and lands on the femur. From there, we can graft gluteus minimus. It comes off of it, just simply lines the groove of the pelvis there and comes off the head, the top portion superior of the head of the femur there, more toward the front. Gluteus medius is more toward the front of the top of the bone and then lands on the head of the femur. Gluteus maximus comes off halfway toward the back of the pelvis. Comes off of the sacrum here down to the tailbone and lands way down on the femur. And finally, the IT band and the tensor fascia lata comes off the front of the pelvic bone and then lands on the tibia all the way down to the lower leg bone. Finally, most superficial, or one of our most superficial muscles, is the Sartorius, and it comes off of the ASIS, anterior superior, goes across the quadriceps, which we have removed, and lands on that Pectineus tendon. So you have 3 muscles here that wrap around the inside of the knee and land on the Pectineus tendon. And there you have it. You can start to see how your muscles are layering on your skeleton. We'll just put the femoris back here so you can see a more finished product. This is group 2, pelvis and thigh. There you go.